Watch this right here.
Lots of people are eating in the world. Not everybody is carrying the propensity for obesity.
Yes, not everybody is carrying the propensity, although, as you pointed out, 2/3 or 3/4 of us actually are. So if we had been born 100 years ago, all of us would likely weigh less. So somebody born 100, well, because of our obesogenic environment. So an environment that is filled with ultra-processed food, lack of physical activity, lots of stress, lack of sleep, all these things lead to the development of obesity. They confuse our biology, and our biology is doing the best that it can to adjust. But if we had been born, let's say somebody was supposed to be normal weight 100 years ago, fast forward to right now, they may actually have overweight or be overweight. If somebody was supposed to be overweight 100 years ago, if they were born now, they may actually have obesity. And that's because our environment changed much more quickly than our biology, because our biology evolved thousands of years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago.
Okay, so is it a gene? Is it a hormone? Is it a something within my body that's not in Reese Witherspoon's body?
So
I love Reese, and I go to Reese because the first time you told me this and you were saying, well, it's our environment. I said, Reese Witherspoon lives in the same environment.
Yeah. She does.
She actually lives in the same neighborhood.
She does.
And Reese does not have this problem.
Yeah. And you may walk your dogs together. So genetically, she may have genetic thinness, and I don't know. I don't know the details of Reese Witherspoon, but she may be more likely to be resistant to that environment. But most of us are not. Most of us end up gaining weight. Now, in terms of the genetics of it, for most people, it's not just one gene. There are people who have monogenic, so single gene forms of obesity. But for most of us, it's polygenic. It has to do with our family. So as your dad had pointed out. So if our parents have obesity, we are more likely to have obesity. So there's many genes that are involved. But it's true, some people are more resistant to that environment than others.
Okay. Over the years, I think I've gained and lost probably, hundreds of pounds. Yeah, everybody has seen me pull out the wagon of fat, and I thought that was the end of it. And then I ran a marathon, and then I've done Weight Watchers. I've done hundreds of diets, just like many of you have done hundreds of diets. And I know so many of you feel, as I felt, like your body is fighting against you.
Yes.
And in the book, Enough, you talk about us all having an internal thermostat.
Yes.
And mine, I think, is set at 211 pounds.
Yes.
And I say that because my body is always, when I first went on, did the fast back in 1988 and pulled out the wagon of fat, I started out at 211 pounds. After I ran the marathon, put the weight back on, I went back to 211 pounds. 211 seems to be the set point for me, between 211 and 218. My body is fighting to get to 211.
Yes.
Why is that?
Your body's biology is extremely strong. Extremely strong.
I see that she is.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
She's a tough old girl.
And
she's a tough old girl who wants to be 211.
Yes. And I don't know anybody else who has more grit than you do. I mean, you have more grit than someone who has scaled Mount Everest. You have tried everything. You have dieted, you have run marathons. It's just like you said, you have so much grit, and yet you cannot overcome this. And that's because we cannot willpower away the biology of obesity.
Okay, so this is the most important thing to know for everybody who's naysaying and doesn't really get it yet. Your body is always fighting to get back to a certain internal thermostat.
Yeah.
And for all of us, that thermostat is different. As I just said, mine seems to be between 211 and 218. Yeah. You all are thinking about what your number is, right?
Yeah.
Because you always, no matter what, end up back in that range.
And I can explain it with an analogy. So we can think about a house, and a house has a thermostat. We don't really think about it. It's just set to a certain temperature, let's say 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And when it is hot outside, what happens? The AC turns on. We don't think about it, right? When it's cold outside, what happens? The furnace turns on. And ultimately, that temperature is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It's just there. Your body does this with so many different things. It does this with body temperature. So for example, body temperature, 98.6. Are any of us sitting here thinking to ourselves, I must keep my body temperature 98.6? No, we're not. If we're cold, like we are right now, we shiver.
Yeah.
If we are hot, then we will sweat, right? So we keep it there.